Peace and blessings once again, YouTube family. Welcome to another edition from the Doctor's Corner. Certainly hope everyone is having a phenomenal day today. It is gorgeous here in Atlanta. I can't help but think about all of the families in Florida and North Carolina, South Carolina, really, I guess we could probably say the entire eastern quarter that are still having, suffering from repercussions from the hurricanes. So certainly hope everyone would join me in praying for all of those families. I haven't seen in the news today in terms of to get any kind of report. I do recall hearing last night that there was one life that was lost. I don't know if there's been more or not, but regardless, certainly want to keep all of those families in mind because that's just a devastating experience, to go through something like that. So I'll be brief today. I was extremely emotional on our last conversation. Don't apologize for that. It was just in terms of the things that I didn't like was I didn't have the name of the plan from VP Harris, and so I certainly wanted to provide an update today and provide a little bit more clarity, be somewhat more succinct, a little less emotional. But I think many of you would probably agree with me. This is, when you live in this life, and you see things that certainly could have a potential positive impact on your community. It's something, for me, I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, it's very easy to get emotional about. But a couple of things just wanted to go over with you and provide you with somewhat of an update. A couple of things I said too as a point of correction. I talked about average and median income. I was a bit off. So interestingly enough, the U.S. Census Bureau just released a study September 2024. So when I say just, I mean literally. We're just talking about just a month ago, maybe not even a full month, because I don't know exactly if this was towards the end of September or towards the middle or whatever. But anyway, you can research this. Of course, this channel want to be a channel based on facts to the best of our ability, and not providing you with misinformation, disinformation, incorrect information, and just straight out lies, like what we see that has really taken center stage in our society today. So anyway, this report, you can look it up yourself. Income in the United States 2023. This is once again, this is from the U.S. Census Bureau. They reported real median household income to be $80,610 in 2023. In 2022, it was $77,540. So I think I just, I mentioned 70,000. I knew I had seen that in a recent reading or whatever, but evidently that was not the most recent data, which I guess somewhat makes sense if this report just, considering this report was just released, a few weeks ago. And so with that, let's see here. The estimates in this report are based on data collected in the 2024 and earlier current population survey annual social and economic supplements conducted by the Census Bureau. So that gives you even more if you want to drill down on this particular research. Found it interesting as well. They had in here real median earnings for men who worked full-time year-round increased by 3%, and real median earnings increased 1.5% for women who worked full-time year-round. certainly got a lot of work to do there as a society, right? But when I read that, the very first thing I thought about is the initial research that we conducted earlier in one of our earlier conversations in terms of identifying who these caregivers are as we continue on that theme, continue on that topic. And based upon the research that we discussed at that time, basically I think it was somewhere around 59%, almost 60% of family caregivers are, they identify as women. So when you add in the fact if the majority of family caregivers are women and they are not, you are not being compensated appropriately, that only just, to me, it only magnifies the importance of this plan placed out by the vice president. And so certainly, put that in mind in terms of as you think about that. There's a couple other things, let's see here, that I looked at. Some interesting data. The age group with the largest increase in median household income was householders aged 55 to 64. I think if we go back once again and tap into some of the research that we've previously conducted, that is certainly the age group that we find ourselves in, right, in terms of that sandwich generation. So with that, it is really, I think it's poignant. I think it's spot on, right? So that kind of covers up some of the misspokes that I had yesterday in terms of my data. My statistics were off, and so I certainly wanted to come back and correct that. Also, in terms of the name of the plan, I had just heard it when I went live with you all, and so but the actual name of the plan is Medicare at Home. And so interestingly enough, I went to the VP's website just to see if I could get firsthand information, right? In terms of what all the plan proposes. And I downloaded the proposals and that sort of a thing that she has, and I don't know if this is something that she just is going to be somewhat of an addendum to her plan, because I did not find the Medicare at Home plan on her site. However, I did find, if you go to D as in Delta, P as in Paul, O as in Oregon.org, if you go to that website, it has Democrats Party of Oregon. They did have somewhat of a fact sheet. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for a fact sheet because, once again, I don't want to just be spewing out information that's not accurate. So feel free, please go to this site, check it out, confirm it. But based upon what I was able to extract from this particular site, it coincides with what I had heard and some other readings that I had read, or other readings that I had reviewed pertaining to the Medicare at Home plan. So, the way it was entitled on this website is Medicare at Home Plan to Support the Sandwich Generation, right? I'm just blown away and just thrilled that somebody's even thinking enough of us to even put anything in writing truthfully, to consider it. So here's a few interesting points. So over 67 million people are covered by Medicare. 4 million enrollees per year into the Medicare program. This was interesting data because, of course, we have been operating with the thought process of around 40-some million of us serving and acting as family caregivers. Well, according to this information, which also this research that I'm providing you now was provided and conducted by the Georgetown University and the Brookings Institution. So Georgetown University and Brookings Institution. So over 67 million people covered by Medicare, 4 million enrollees per year. 105 million people currently acting as family caregivers. 105. I think I mentioned before in terms of 48 million of us, and what I don't know is when this research was conducted by Georgetown University. So I haven't gotten that much, but hopefully you can still gain something from this information. So just a few bullet points on what the Medicare at Home plan is to provide. It will provide enrollees with independent evaluations from physicians. It will provide care workers access to better wages, which certainly would assist us, right? Because, right now, of course, we get no assistance from Medicare. And once we frame it and understand, we're talking about family caregivers dealing with family members who need round-the-clock care, not just in-home care, in-home health aid, what they call, to come in and check vitals and that sort of a thing. So we're not talking about that, because Medicare will assist with that. They will assist in sending someone to your home to check the vitals, you check the blood pressure, and assist them with whatever medications they're supposed to be taking. They will also, even if your family member qualifies in terms of their physical condition and in consultation with their physician, if they have to have or could benefit from physical therapy, Medicare can assist with that. But anything else outside of that, Medicare does not provide. And so what the VP Harris is proposing is this Medicare at Home plan that once again will provide care workers access to better wages. What I was about to say with that is, so if we could get any assistance from Medicare with that, then of course that's less money, that resources that would have to come from our pocket, right? In terms of compensating. My experience here in the Atlanta area, going rate wages for professional CNAs, to come in and assist, you're going anywhere from $17 an hour to $35 an hour, right? And that varies in terms of your experience. But that's pretty much the range that you're looking at. And so that's a sizable responsibility, to carry out every day, every week, every month, every year. And so if Medicare stepped in and assist in any portion with that would be just a tremendous help. The proposal for the Medicare at Home plan also will provide hearing and vision coverage, and it will end Medicaid estate recovery. I didn't know they had a name for government seizures, but they actually have a name for it. It's called Medicaid estate recovery. They will end that practice whereby, and this is what we've talked about, if your loved one has property, if they have a home, they got real estate, they have land, that when they transition, the government basically will come in, Medicaid will come in and basically seize that property as a form of payment for the services that they've provided during the time of your loved one's existence. So VP Harris, her Medicare at Home plan is proposing to end that practice, where you no longer now will have to live under that threat or have to have the choice of, can I get assistance now, only to give up the potential for generational wealth later on by forfeiting your property or your assets. And so those are just four quick. Once again, I go over them again. Enrollees will be independently evaluated by physicians. The plan will provide care workers access to better wages. The plan will also provide hearing and vision coverage, which currently they do not have. And the plan would end Medicaid estate recovery in terms of home seizures in terms of payment. So this is not all inclusive, family. I just wanted to give you a few snapshots. I mean, of course, you know, anyone that I would imagine that's in this role, that's living this life, you would do your due diligence and go and research it for yourself, see how it fits, see how it applies to your own life. And if you see something in there that you think needs to be tweaked, hey, get on the phone, right? And call your local representatives, your local government representatives, and let them know what you think about this, right? Good or bad, right? But I don't know how you can see bad in it, but in any event, it's certainly, from just some of the things I've seen, I certainly feel it can go a little farther, it can go a little deeper. But and also they had in there, I mentioned to you about a sliding scale. So the sliding scale will exist. I don't know exactly though if the scale will be, I don't know how they will go with that, but understandably it will have some sense of an income based criteria, which, I mean, I get it. I understand that. And so many of us, once again, may not qualify, but once again, it's about the masses, right? Because if we can strengthen across the country for families who could benefit from it, right? And we have no idea what that sliding scale would be, or whatever, who knows? But this is the sort of thing that I think if we reach out, if we call our Congress people, if we call our senators and give them, our honest, unadulterated opinions on this, who knows what could happen, right? So in any event, just wanted to provide you with that very quickly, family. Forgive me of that. I am still working. So just stepped out for a second to grab some lunch and then to come and greet you all very quickly. But continue to enjoy your day. Continue to be blessed. And we will talk again. Thanks again for joining me in the Doctor's Corner. Peace. Be well.